snow dog number 1? Yeah? Where's snow dog number 2? Hey, what you doing, snow dog number 2? What you do? Oh, you don't want to show me? What you doing, snow dog number 2? Oh, these two absolutely love each other. They love this weather. But like, I don't hate it either. It's beautiful. Hey everyone, it's Brittany from Green Bee Flowers in Southwestern Ontario. Farming in Zone 6A. It's snowing for like the first time in a really long time. We've had a very unseasonably mild winter, which isn't awful. It's just different. That said, because it's been so mild, we've been able to get a head start on so many farm-related things this year. My snow dogs are having fun. We've been able to get a head start on so many things this year, which has been extremely unique. Normally, this time of year, we are a few feet deep in snow, and it's like minus 10 Celsius to minus 25 Celsius here. So this is a very different winter for us, and I'm not upset about it. Because it's been so mild, all of the things that have been in our greenhouse are actually doing really, really beautifully. So let's go take a look. I've tried to set this up like 3 different ways and it's not showing you what I want to show you. So we're gonna do it like this. So right here beside me is that little patch of anemones that I showed you in the last video. These anemones survived the cold snap, which I was really excited about. We had them covered, and you can, if you look closely, there's Christmas lights. Yep, that's right. Christmas lights in the aisle, or like in the bed. We did some research and discovered that you can actually put iridescent, not fluorescent, right? Fluorescents don't give off any heat. We can put like the yellow glow Christmas lights in the actual beds and it keeps the ground from freezing, which has been really great. So the temperature in here right now is like 15 degrees Celsius, which is perfect for anemones. And these are looking fantastic. I've actually harvested 2 anemones, which is so exciting because it is January in Southwestern Ontario. Harvested 2 anemones this week, and like there's a ton of buds in here. There's so many buds coming in this patch, which is very exciting. And like, it's a small patch. It's maybe 3 by 3. On the other side here, this is the section where we'd had little baby nuncs planted. Now the top foliage died during the cold snap just before Christmas. So it doesn't look like the corms did though. There's a whole bunch of small spots where we're starting to see new growth come up, which is both great but also unfortunate because I have about 1,200 ranunculus pre-sprouting downstairs in the grow room, and I'm not 100% sure where they're all gonna go. So I done that because I thought these had died, and now yesterday when I came out I noticed that there is actually fresh growth. So Jaeger. So here's a great example right here, right where I didn't think that it survived, and it did. So Jaeger. And here's another one. It's coming back. And we got some fresh growth coming in there. Now, of course, this is the type of weather ranunculus like. This is perfect for pre-sprouting. I may go through here and dig up, you know, the corms that just didn't make it, because there was a lot in here, and you can see not everything survived that cold snap. And then we will just replant with fresh corms that are started. The opposite side of the greenhouse, however, it's a completely different story. This ranunculus looks great, of course. So I am out here checking so often to see if maybe we're getting flower sprouts yet. It looks like we might be getting them. soon. The one challenge with where we are is even though the flowers and the plants, like, they'll grow like this, they won't necessarily put out blooms because we don't have tons of hours of sunlight yet, and that definitely affects them. So I would say that the hoop house has definitely done its job. So far I'm really happy. I'm not expecting that I'm going to see ranunculus blooms for Valentine's Day. We're 3 weeks out now and I don't have any active buds going on with these yet. That's okay, because I'm gonna have some anemones that I can put in our Valentine's arrangements that we have listed on the website. So not a loss, definitely something that we've learned. We haven't done this before, right? So this is a brand new experience for us and I'm not upset. But had this hoop house not had a heater in it, which it does, we have a little space heater running down here, which normally I had used in the garage in the wintertime just to keep the studio feeling a little warm. But since we had moved everything down to the basement this upcoming year, I did not need that anymore. So Hubs brought it out, plugged it in, so between that and our little twinkle lights, I'm really content with how it looks in here. The other one that's been kind of unexpected for me, and I have tons of fresh seed coming on this year, but the feverfew is actually looking like really beautiful. And it's smelling really good. It's got like that very fresh citrusy smell, and I expect that in a couple weeks I'm gonna start seeing blooms come off this, provided we don't get a deep freeze, which the long range forecast is not showing. I know that parts of the rest of Canada are supposed to be getting some of the polar vortex again, but we're south of Toronto and it kind of seems like where we are located, we're just immune to the deep cold this year, and I'm pretty thankful about that. Okay, so now I am standing in our just regular unheated greenhouse. I'd say the thermometer isn't in here, it got moved to the other one, so I estimate it's about 7 degrees in here. Colder than the other one. So right now this particular greenhouse is being used strictly for storage, and we've been having some kind of conversations around what we want to do in here. So we have a few options. There's exciting things happening on the farm this year. 2 reasons why we haven't been updating a lot. One, we just can't get over the flu. Like, it ripped through our house again the past couple weeks post-Christmas. But the second one is there has been so much behind the scenes planning happening here at the Green Bee, and I'm very excited about it. One part of that is I'm not going to tell you guys yet, but I promise within the next couple months you'll be completely in the loop. But the biggest thing is that we have access to heated hoop house space on the old dry farm starting at the end of March, which means that most of our seeding is going to be done directly in an industrial greenhouse this year. I'm so excited about this because the owners of the farm that we grow at, specifically there, are so excited about the flower farm in general, and are so excited to share their knowledge with us. And so one of the exciting things is that is going to completely change the capacity by which we grow, and that is actually going to free this entire space up. This is, I believe, an 8 by 10, maybe a 10 by 12, but there's so much shelving space in here. It's in a great location. Because there's some shade, it also offers some coolness during the day, and it's got a fan in here. So we are thinking about what this space is going to be, and we have a couple options that I'm really excited about. The first is those crates of tulips can actually come in here so that we can start to get those going. Right now, that hoop is completely covered. We have frost cloth around those crates so that they won't freeze. They haven't. They look really good. And we covered them this week in the hope that with the warm weather, we can start to wake them up. We're actually going out to the old dry farm next week and starting to pound and post so that we can hoop the daffodils as well. The other thing we can do in this space is actually create ranunculus in here, which, because I'm freaking out because I'm running out of room over there, would be an absolute game changer. Now, we would have to run a heater in here as well just to kind of stabilize the climate and probably put some additional lighting in here. However, this is a really exciting little space that now we're going to have access to use that we have never had before, because I don't have to worry about acclimating any of my seedlings in this specific space this year. And that is like a mind-blowingly huge thing. Like, I'm absolutely floored. Now, the flip side of that is, because we're going to be starting all of our seeds in their huge industrial greenhouse, because they have been farming for 25 years and they have all of the things. The old drive plot is expanding. This year we planted about 2,500 peonies. We planted a lot of tulips, like more tulips than we've ever planted before. We planted hyacinths, we planted alliums, we planted narcissus. We are putting in hydrangea. We are adding in a bigger sunflower patch this year. And the Green Door Gardens plot, which is where our dahlias have traditionally been, is only going to be dahlias going into 2023, which is 4 full beds of incredible dahlias. I will do a video coming up about the new varieties that we are adding this year, but that's going to be really exciting as well. So we are growing. Like, there is big exciting things happening at the Green Bee in 2023, and I'm just like so excited. So this space then, I think we are going to be pre-sprouting and starting ranunculus in here. We are selling spring flower subscriptions, we are selling tulip subscriptions, we have a whole bunch of stuff that we are working on for our spring line for flowers. We're going to be growing so many local flowers, and I'm so excited about how that's going to just change the flowers industry in our community. It's a really exciting thing. Oh, so much great stuff. We have a lot of mess to clean up in here. So many seed trays. Caitlin's gonna be busy washing for the next little while. Look, all the crates. So down here in the grow room, we are beginning to pre-sprout dahlias. We've got larkspur there. We have delphinium started. I have a wedding that we're doing in July, and so the sooner I can get the delphinium growing, the better. This actually kind of looks like statice. Promise it's not. And then over here, so this whole shelf is filled with ranunculus. You can see they're sitting in the dark because they like dark to pre-sprout. But like some of these have like really, really huge corms. So we'll give them a little bit there, keep them covered, and then I'll check on them in about a week and we'll see if there's any action. And then as soon as there's life, we're gonna get them out. Now I'm wondering there was a seed mix-up, which doesn't make sense because we grew that as delphinium last year. That shouldn't be status because those are last year's seed. But like, right? Like this is what delphinium should look like, right? This right here. This is delphinium. This is a delph leaf, right? I'm not wrong on that. These are not like the other. These are very much not like the other. These look like status, which would explain why they germinated so well. Well, that's going to be a conundrum. We'll see how that goes. You know what? If anybody says that they have a perfect season, they're lying. Never seen a flower farmer that hasn't either killed something, mislabeled, yada yada yada. I think that's the update. I don't know if there was anything else I really wanted to talk about. I will go through in a later video, so we're going to talk about dahlias, but I also want to show you some of what the seeds we are growing and some of what we're not growing this year, because I did decide to cull some plants, I know, out of our farm this year. I want to begin to specialize in crops that are higher value. Because I think at the end of the day, we really have to pay attention to the flowers that we are growing that are a return on our investment, right? And so removing some of those, you know, although grand ideas, we simply don't have the infrastructure to grow some of these flowers well yet. And they should be fairly easy flowers to grow, but because of the way our climate works, and you see this with other flower farmers as well, where we have a nice temperate spring, but then in a week, like less than a week, we go from having 10 degrees Celsius being up into the 30 degrees Celsius, and it's just like this weird spot in June. And so that definitely changes what we are capable of growing, what we are capable of doing. And instead of working against our climate, I want to start figuring out how to work with our climate. So that's it. That is your January update. I'm sure you will see me again soon, because like I said, there's a lot of exciting things happening. You can see I'm finally getting some of my energy back, which is great. We are moving into a point in the business that is going to be an absolutely game-changing year for us, and I'm excited. I'm so excited to take you guys along for that journey, because we finally figured out how we want the flower farm to function in the long run, and so being able to take steps towards that is very exciting. So thank you for being here. If you have questions, of course, always post them down below. If you are meeting us for the first time, welcome. If you made it through this whole video of me rambling, yay. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. I hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. And I don't want to ever hear anybody say that dahlias are not resilient, because this dahlia is growing in the dirt bin from all of the cleaning we're doing on ranunculus corms right now. There must have been some dahlia tubers in here, and we don't know what it is. So that one decided to come up. So we're going to take this cutting on the top here and root it.